Alrighty, so today we're going to be doing a really fun project. We're going to be doing an acrylic painting on a t-shirt. So here I have a pre-washed white t-shirt. You can use any color you want if you're using acrylic paint, which you should be, otherwise your painting's not going to be a permanent painting. So it's just a simple cotton shirt. So if you have like an old tie-dyed shirt you've done with us before, you can use that one and kind of give it new life to it. So one of the things you're gonna need is some cardboard. So I had this Amazon box that's roughly the same size as the inside of my shirt. So what I'm gonna do is work the cardboard box into the middle of the t-shirt, and that's gonna help keep the painting flat and protect the other side of the shirt to prevent any bleed through of the paint. So you're gonna work it down. We're just going to take our time here and get it all even. And this is going to help everything lay flat, prevent too many wrinkles, and help you map out your taping, which we're going to do in a little bit. So you want your neckline to point towards the middle. That'll help you center everything and then smooth it out. Looks pretty good. So you're going to need some gaff tape or some painter's masking tape for the next step. So here I have my gaff tape and then some masking tape. So this is going to help prevent the paint from spreading too far. Here, so through the magic of editing, we're going to rip up our tape pieces and lay out our square. Actually, I'm going to lay out a rectangle for my project here. So it can be whatever shape you want. Just make sure you take the time to really lay it best way you can. So kind of get an idea of where you want it. And then through the magic of editing, done. So that is the area where I'm going to be painting, and then I'm going to be using the masking tape to cover up all the white sections of my t-shirt I don't want to accidentally get paint on. So we're going to mask that all off. So you see there, kind of really wrapped it up pretty good. And then we're going to wrap up that top section right there. And the wider the tape you use, the better. And then we're going to start painting in our background. So we're going to be using blue. And I use lots of different tones of blue because I don't want just a flat, boring background. It's going to add more interesting characteristic to your overall painting the more different tones you use. So take your time and try to evenly spread out your paint. You don't want two areas too thick or too thin. Be careful of the amount of water you use. It still can bleed under the tape, so you want to be mindful of that. And then we're going to start mapping out our background. So I'll have a little picture so you guys can kind of follow along with where I'm working out on my painting. So we're doing a little foreground work. I'm doing this section because it's going to take several layers to get all the details worked out of it. So you work in one layer at a time. As the paint dries, you can work another layer on top. And remember, you can do this all a little at a time. You don't need to do it all in one go. So there we go. Putting in some layers of green and brown. Do some background with some green and brown line. We'll worry about adding texture in later. Putting in some hillsides. And you notice as the paint dries, I go back in and add a little more detail. Let it dry, and then you add a little more detail. A little bit of our farm here. and some buildings, and we'll go back in near the end and finish up the details. Just putting in the initial layers. Putting in some of our stars. And you guys gotta remember that the texture of a shirt is not the same as a canvas, so you're not gonna get the same paint effects. So you just kind of want to be okay that it's not going to match whatever you're working from perfectly. It'll kind of give it its own unique look. And you want to be mindful of not making your paint too thick, because this is a t-shirt, so the more layers of paint you add, the stiffer that section of the cloth is going to be. So if you're painting too thick, you're just going to have it's kind of like literally almost like a chunk of cardboard on the front part of your shirt. It's going to not be able to move at all, so it's going to be a little uncomfortable. So you want to be sure not to paint too thickly here. Putting in the steeple, a little more detail. And we're going to take a quick dinner break and come back, and you're going to notice the light change because the sun has gone down. We're going back in. So make sure that you take as many breaks as you need to. Don't rush it. You can just cover your painting tray with a little saran wrap. We're just going back in and adding more details. Working on the swirls in the sky. And then as the paint dries, your colors will darken a little bit. So don't worry if it seems like it's too light, it'll darken up a bit. Going through and adding our moon. This will be the first layer, and then we'll go back in and actually add the crescent part a little bit later. Working those small details into the sky. There's our moon. Being mindful of the direction the paint is going down. City and the little farms in the background. And the final details to our shrubbery in the very front. And then once you let it dry overnight, you can remove the tape. And you see it's much darker now. And you notice there's a little bleeding on the edge. That's because I added too much water while painting that background, which is fine. We're just going to paint a frame around it, just like it is in the museum. So if I really wanted to, I could have retaped it and masked it off, but I'm just going to freehand it. That'll be fine. So I'm going to use a little burnt umber with some bronze and gold paint and just paint in a quick little frame, and it'll look good. And there's a few wrinkles in the shirt. That's perfectly fine. I think I kind of like the character it kind of gives it. So we'll put in our final details of the frame. I hope you guys like this. If you have any t-shirts at home and a little acrylic paint, you can give it a try. You can paint any kind of painting you want. It's a lot of fun and not too hard to do. Clean up our edges. And our final details. So I hope you guys will see my next video. Maybe we'll do some acrylic beads. So we'll see. See you guys next time.